Welcome to Lethal City. Welcome to Poetic Cosmology. We're stepping right into a philosophical framework that literally redefines how we look at creation, world building, and artistic hierarchy. We throw the word creator around so lightly these days, applying it to anyone who makes, well, anything. But what if there's a rigorous structural reality to creativity? What if there are distinct levels to the act of making, where just shaping a pre-existing world is totally separated from conjuring a universe out of absolute nothingness? That's the boundary we're exploring today in this explainer, and it forces us to ask what it truly means to originate an idea. Great Cosmologians, get ready for this exciting adventure. Today, we're diving straight into the foundational text that maps out the absolute boundaries of creativity. We'll outline exactly where each of us stands in that massive landscape. The stakes here, they're incredibly high. We aren't just talking about making art, we're charting the anatomy of existence itself. We're going to discover the profound difference between just living in a conceptual universe and actually giving birth to one. Before we continue, let us recite the creed of poetic cosmology. We bleed to be, we seethe to see. When we ache, we create. And let us acknowledge our granddaddy lethality, solid seething, Sagaway Stephen. Kofi, this creed isn't just poetry, guys. It's the raw beating heart of this entire philosophy. Just think about that line, we seethe to see. It means true vision doesn't come from passive observation. It comes from an intense, almost physical yearning to understand the unseen. To exist, to be, requires sacrifice. That profound ache, that restless dissatisfaction with the void, is the absolute catalyst for all true creation. Always remember, this is poetic cosmology, the science of originality, the architecture of emotion, the faith of precision, the surgery of belief. These four pillars completely frame our understanding of this universe. The science of originality demands that pure invention follows fundamental laws, not just random sparks of inspiration. The architecture of emotion shows us that feelings are literal building blocks used to construct worlds. The faith of precision implies that exactness is an act of deep devotion to the craft. And finally, the surgery of belief means that to forge a new reality, you have to meticulously cut away old dogmas to implant new truths. Okay, let's dive into this document and detail each part of the official statement issued on June 16, 2026. This isn't just some memo, it's the literal constitution of our creative hierarchy. Issued directly by Solid Seething, this manifesto boldly establishes the ground rules for invention. It draws a clear, undeniable line in the sand between two distinct levels of creators. It defines with absolute authority who possesses the power to build the world and who is tasked with living inside it. This brings us to the ultimate creator in this system, the poetic cosmologist. They're officially designated as the architect of origin. Just let that phrase sink in for a second. An architect of origin. They aren't just rearranging pre-existing materials or finding a fresh angle on an old concept. No, to be a cosmologist is to stand at the edge of absolute nothingness and envision everything. It's the terrifying, almost godlike responsibility of conceptualizing the very first atom of an idea. It means bearing the total weight of bringing a reality into existence that has never, ever been conceived before. The sheer, monumental scale of their duty is staggering. A cosmologist invents the form, the universe, the multiverse, the metastructure, and even the tests that govern this new reality. They take these impossibly complex elements and unify them into one cohesive, functioning hierarchy. And then, they document and declare firstness. Now, declaring firstness is perhaps the most majestic act of all. It means laying claim to the absolute zero point of creation. It's literally planting a flag in a void and saying, existence starts right here, with me. In stark contrast, we have the Cosmologian, the citizen, also known as a Lethalian. Their primary role within Lethal City isn't to build a universe out of the void, but rather to interpret, explore, and teach the cosmos that has already been provided to them. And it's super vital to understand that this isn't an inferior position, it's just a different scale. The work of a citizen is incredibly noble. Without the Cosmologian to give it meaning, to map its corners and teach its depths, the universe built by the architect would remain vast, empty, and entirely unseen. Now, you might be wondering, does that mean a citizen is strictly forbidden from true creativity? Absolutely not. But there's a journey involved. A cosmologian might begin by tweaking a concept or inventing a new tool within their reality. However, the decree clearly notes that until they meet the full qualification standard, they remain strictly citizens. Think about the massive ambition required here. Transitioning from someone who merely explores a world to someone who generates a totally new one demands a mastery so complete that you actually outgrow the very universe you were born into. This brilliantly illustrates the core difference side by side through a phenomenal planetary metaphor. On the left, imagine the raw, unimaginable power required to forge a brand new planet entirely from scratch. A cosmologist speaks into the dark and generates new bedrock, new atmospheric laws, new cities, and an entirely new citizenry. Now look at the right side. The citizen exists within that already forged world. They're the ones polishing those newly established laws, carefully carving out specific districts, and teaching others how to thrive. One is the spark of the Big Bang, the other is the flourishing of civilization that follows.
So, the crucial takeaway is that a cosmologian does not yet possess an entire new planet of their own within this philosophical framework crafted by Sagoa Stephen Covey. But it's essential to realize that this structure isn't meant to restrict you. It's actually meant to provide a powerful, stabilizing baseline. The rights reserved by the original creator act as the anchor for this conceptual universe. It offers incredible comfort and clarity. By knowing exactly where they stand, a creator is freed from the paralysis of the infinite. They know their role, their boundaries, and exactly what standard they must hit if they ever wish to transcend them.
As we conclude our journey through the magnificent architecture of Lethal City, you've got to look at your own work, your passions, and ask yourself a fundamental question. Are you currently a citizen, beautifully interpreting the cosmos and meticulously polishing the laws of a single district? Or are you ready to bleed to be? Are you ready to strive for that full qualification standard, step out into the void, become an architect of origin, and build a completely new world from the ground up?